Today on Destroyer 1320, let's see where we're at with the dart. What's going on, man?
Today we're going to be installing the Holley Performance Parts jet extension kit that came with the float. Reason we're installing that is because with this vehicle it's going to be pulling the front end up like that, and I want to make sure that we don't have a hesitation when it pushes the gas to the back of the float bolt. Be sure to inspect the gasket on the back of your carb. Make sure it's not cracked or something. If this is the float bolt that is in the back, you'll see there's just some simple pins holding it together. And laying behind you here, this is the diaphragm of the carburetor where the jet extensions go. So as you can see, he's putting the extensions in right there, and then he will go ahead and add the jet. If you're going to change jets, this is where you would be changing the jets. We're leaving the ones that are in there, just adding the extensions to hopefully stop a stumble when accelerating. Be sure to adjust the float height to make sure that it drains out once it hits the weep hole. You can do that by removing the screw that he's installing right now, and then removing the screw on the side. Turn on your pump, and as soon as it starts to weep, you'll know you're there. Next thing we're going to be doing is addressing this fuel log. I bent the darn thing when I was trying to take it loose, so be careful if you're going to be replacing that. It caused the thing to have a little bit of a drip. We went ahead and purchased a new one. We're going to take this here and replace it. Hopefully stop the drips and have a better looking carburetor setup while improving the liability of the carburetor. After just mocking this up, I noticed the throttle linkage is going to be an issue. I don't really like the way that the cable is routed. I don't like the pitch in which everything is. It's not quite lining up nice and straight. The spring needs to be a dual spring for the 10-second class to be NHRA legal. So looks like we may have to put a new one in and get the double springs to avoid any issues with the linkage. Stopped over at Summit Racing and grabbed one of these throttle plates. Pretty slick. You can adjust the back, you can adjust the front and the springs. I'm not sure what I'm doing with my finger here, but it's pretty cool. Yep, get out of here, bud. The old one had to go. As you can plainly see, we had to relocate the fuel log over to the other side of the motor. Pretty slick little setup here. Coil's got to move. It's kind of in the way, so going to relocate that and probably build a bracket or something to mount it on so it's up nice and out of the way. Well, that didn't work too well. Went to relocate this dang thing and it started leaking out the top. It's pretty bad when you're pouring the oil out of your coil. Guess it's time for us to get ourselves a new one. While I'm working on the motor, I couldn't get the red stuff off these valve covers. Time to paint them. I just taped them off and shot them with some high temp paint just to jazz this thing up. Ooh, that does look better. Good job, E.
Oh, I should put these valve cover gaskets on. Meh, good enough. Well, as some of you guys have seen here and there, life kind of gets in the way and time and such. So let's take a look and see right where we're at as of today. So I got a whole bunch of stuff done on the motor. Just got my coil, my new blaster coil plumbed in and made a little bracket to mount it there. I got my PRP bracket set up for my accelerator, and then I ordered a new set of wires. If you can guess why, yep, probably, and that's why I don't have all these buttoned up and pretty, because I'm going to be ripping them out. Tried to find a new distributor cap, as I said, fail. Eventually I think I'm going to have to change the entire distributor because I can't even find a cap for it anymore. But you know what? Hashtag race car. Kind of what life gives you. You got to go with what you do. As you can see, I have miscellaneous parts and such down here. One of them being my line lock, which is sitting in place right about where it goes. Oh, can we sneak down here and take a look? Yeah, it goes right up in there. So I just have to take the time to do that, get that buttoned up. Still got my belts in the box. Got some wiring done. Let me see if I can back this out for you guys. All right. Got some wiring done. As you can see, it's not buttoned up and not done. But I did find something out. I do have a 3-wire alternator. So I am switching out to... I'm going to switch out my master on-off, master power switch from the old style that's on there right now to this new one. The reason being that is a 2-pole. And this is a 4-pole. Why do I need that? So when I shut this off, it kills power to the alternator. Having a 3-wire alternator versus a 1-wire, I'm going to run alternator back to the B side of that switch So when the switch is kicked, it shuts all power off to the car and doesn't keep running. Guy previous to me had it on a toggle switch, which obviously I've ripped all out. But there's our new panel. That is in. We got the launch party button installed. I'm still fighting with the shifter. That's where I'm at right now because I need to get the shifter done so that I can get everything shifting right and be able to put it in park and put it in neutral, do my neutral safety switch. Then I can button up my wiring. We'll be good to go there. I do have some more carpet stuff to do. I got new sill plates underneath that big pan there. I'm going to be putting the sill plates in. I'm trying to find, if somebody knows, let me know in the comments, a weather stripping to go down here. That would be wonderful, so I can finish that off. Eventually, I'd like to find some doors and put actual windows back in this. I want to do a windshield in the front. But at this point, I just need to get this bad boy running again so that we can take it out and at least test it at the track, even if I just do eighth mile pulls and not do the full quarter, just to get us a baseline of where we're at and are we going in the right direction? Am I going backwards? What are we doing here? Once the electrical is buttoned up for the most part, and this is installed, I will be replacing my current fuel pump, which is exactly this, the blue fuel pump. The one I have in there is like from the 80s or 90s, and it's super loud, and I'm kind of sketched out about leaving that in there. I don't want to go out to the track my first pull and have it fail on me. So I'm just going to replace that and take the old one and put it in the box as my spare. It did also come with a new pressure regulator as well. So we'll be installing the new pump and the new regulator before we take this to the track, just as a precautionary measure, and I'll use the old stuff as my backup. So, we got to keep fueling this bad boy. As you can see, I got my new fuel rail in, and then I changed where the pressure regulator was so that we can kind of get it out of the way. It was up on a bar that was here. Now it is located there. Yeah, just knocking things off the list. I'm sorry I've had delays between parts and time, honestly. Appreciate you watching these videos. If you like them, hit the little thumbs up. If you've not done it yet, please subscribe. There's going to be more coming as we get farther into the race season here in Arizona. I was hoping to take this possibly to Good Guys, maybe to Street Car Shootout. We'll see if I have it done by then, but we'll keep giving you updates as much as we can. We'll see you on the next one.